Hi, welcome to a new episode of Project Garage. I'm William, and today's video we're working again on a K20 Peugeot 205. But first, I'm going to start off this video with these two, because this is the thing we're going to do. These are uprights or knuckles or hubs or whatever you want to call it, from a Peugeot 406 Coupe, the 3-liter V6 version. And the reason for that is they're going to go in the car. This will be the 4.6 conversion, like you've seen in the title of the video probably. Because these are gonna go on there. These are, of course, extended ball joints made by Satchel Engineering. Link in the description. These things are pretty dope. Actually reasonably priced. And yeah, I wanted those because I wanted to upgrade my brakes as well. And you know how I've done it in the past. I'm not sure if that's strong enough. I do not want to hit the brake, and when I'm driving semi-slicks, low pressure, big brake pads, and then suddenly the wheel flies off because that bolt that I use, remember, I don't know, I'll show you later. I think that's going to break. And this is way stronger, even though these are probably a little bit too short, but the knuckle is also a bit longer on the underside as well. So yeah, so that's probably going to do something, but it of course also has to do with the roll center correction, but I don't know. Just a little bit shorter probably won't be an issue, but yeah, as you can see, for people who know the Peugeots, these things look very similar to the 205 ones or the 306 ones, or like actually all of them are all very similar. So these things are a straight bolt-on. Also I have the fitting brakes, which are not going on because the Citroen XR VTS brakes that I have will fit on these as well, but they are gonna go on there eventually because I actually have them around here. Bought these like last year, but probably I told you in a previous video, I think in the past, that they fit but the wheels don't fit over them, and I don't have wheels for that. So yeah, so we're gonna first of all disassemble these, put all this crap off, and the joints are threaded in, as you can see. I'm not sure how we're going to take these things out, but we're probably going to put them in the visor down right over there, and the fucking tractor is back inside. Fuck that thing, but yeah, so that's what's going to happen in this video. It's going to go like this. I'm going to do that, clean these things up, and do all that stuff, and then I'm going to take the stuff off this car, these ones off, put them on, and actually going to weld a extension bit for here, because I also need bump steer correction on these, but I'm not sure how far that has to go down, because the steering arms are on an angle, go upwards, so every time I hit a bump it tugs the steering, which isn't too bad because there isn't a lot of suspension oil, but I wanted to have it fixed. So yeah, that will also be in this video. Well, at least that's the plan. So yeah, let's get started.
Begin to eat the dust of Baja California.
It's a great pleasure. It's a great pleasure. It's a great pleasure to have all of you here today. I thought you all might begin your tour here.
Is there anything of yours that we could keep as a memento of this visit?
Take California.
Well, the second one went way quicker. So now let's go to the vise and get you know, the knuckle off. Not the knuckle, what's this thing called? The ball joint off. So it's probably a week later now and we're back at it. Because, check it out what I got. This is the tool I needed for the lower ball joint. It's made by let's see what it is. Force lower ball joint socket, made in Taiwan. It's not the best one I think, but this thing will work even though it says Citroen and Peugeot 405. Not sure why it says 405. I don't think 405 have ball joints like this, but still. This thing works like this. Put it on here. The best way is to put like a nut on there. Then you can just loosen it with a wrench or a socket, which mine won't do. I don't have a wrench that fits it. So yeah, let's go do that. So, as you just seen, I pulled these things out of there, and these things were quite in there, so that's tough. But as you can see now, things are threaded in. Now I can do it like that. Well, you know, you got the idea. It's a bit tight, but that is the idea. So with these now installed, they're only finger tight or hand tight, because this is not final. Because when maybe we're going to get the sandblaster, they'll just remove them. It's now because it's for measurements. Because now I'm going to take these hubs off, or the knuckles, whatever the things are called, fusées in Dutch. So that's what I'm going to do, so I can just see how they fit. So check it out. I got the wheel off. And now I can show you what I mean. Look over there, this is how I lowered the ball joint, even though I have rose joints. I just put a bolt in there, and, you know, it works, but it's not the best way to do it. This way, what I'm doing right now, way better, way stronger. And there you go, that was that. I got it off. I decided to skip it, because how many times you've seen me do it, obviously, honestly, huh? So let's put the other thing back on. And bam, just like that, the new one is on. It actually went pretty easy, so that was expected, but you know, never know. So yeah, that's pretty dope. Let's connect it all up and let's see how it all sits. So, see, the lower bolt joint is installed, but like I expected, the bolt that comes with is a bit too short. That's why I had to leave these pieces out. So, well, that's okay. At least the spacing is correct, so not big of a deal for now, but I do have to buy a new one, or two ones. So let's see how this all fits with everything back installed. Okay, I discovered the first issue with having 406 knuckles with this car, or at least with 205, not sure with all of them. If you look at this, turning left is fine, but turning right, you see, it hits the anti-roll bar end link. So, or you have to cut an edge of it, but I'm pretty sure that is where the bolt goes. So what I'm going to try out is just put a spacer behind that, so I'll move it back forward, move it back further. So let's try that. So, problem number 2. Not really a big deal, but if you want to put this thing in there, in this 406, they're actually mounted from the top, and 205 they're mounted from the bottom. So if you put it in there, you'll see it doesn't fit. It tapers from big to small because it's mounted from the top, which is, in my case, not going to be an issue. I'm just going to drill them through and, you know, put the spaces in there for the roll center correction, bump steer correction. So yeah, it's not really a big deal, but keep that in mind if you want to do that. So I put everything installed because I was a little bit sad, so everything is in. I just moved this thing out of the way, put the space on there later. For now, I'm going to put the wheel back on, put the car back on its wheel, so I can see how big the space should be and see where I'm at with all the measurements. Now I found the third problem with mounting these knuckles. Even though the brake caliper bolts straight on, with this setup, the spacing is different, so the caliper hits the disc, so it won't rotate. So what I'm trying to do now is try to space the caliper a little bit with 2 washers, see what's up. Maybe it's even better to put like a spacer behind the disc or something. Not sure if that's possible, but who knows. Or maybe even a different disc anyway, but have to look into that. But you know, it's not really a big deal, but it's third thing to keep in mind when you do this. So, as you can see, I installed all the stuff, but as you also notice, a longer bolt is not needed because it just doesn't fit. So I'll just have to do it this way. So yeah. Also, the arm is actually pretty straight, that's good, except this bit goes a bit up, but that's fine. So the steering rod has to have a spacer of, I don't know, probably like 2 or 3 centimeters. Plenty, yeah, I can work with that. Then it will be almost straight. Yeah, I have to say that's a good result. Okay, wow, this has been a while. Of course, it was winter when I filmed the last clip, and it got so cold. This is now beginning of March, and the last clip was like the beginning of December, so it's been a while. In that time, look how nasty everything is in here. Temperature is starting to get a little bit more bearable, but you know, got some extra stuff in here, you know. But keeping back to the topic, I've also been thinking and doing some measuring. I've also got these little bushings made. These are like the existing ones that I had, but I got them like modified in a lathe. My colleague did that. Ballen die op de batterij lopen trouwens. That's so my system that I have here, that it actually fits better. as you can see, I got this thing over here, and this thing, this is the way the kit is meant to fit. But I had these little bushings because, of course, the rose joints have a hole in them. Let's see if I can find my other one. Oh yeah, of course, the other ones are still mounted to the other side. Have like a spacer in there, so it all fits in perfectly. But they're too thick and all that stuff, so they didn't really fit. And I wanted to fit like I said, a longer bolt, but that wasn't really going to work. So I decided to do it like this. Now I'm going to do a quick test fit, but even though I already know it's going to work, but I'm going to still do that. Here's the bolt, which is very nice quality, except the hex in there is like really big, and I don't even have one that fits, so got to find that one. But if you can look in here, this is the hole where the thing is going to go. Let's see how it fits. It fits brilliantly, honestly. Damn, that's great. Now I can put this thing in there. Oh my goodness. I need 2 hands, I think. Yeah, but it fits brilliantly. Very happy with that. Thanks, Richard. So, to tackle the braking problem, I already tried some prototype washers behind over here and space out the caliper. That worked, but honestly, it's not really how I want to do it. So, I've got some options. What I've got here, 5mm spacer. Put that on there, and put the 266mm brake on there. Let's see if that works. And if that works, that's fine. But I also have, this is the 288 from the Citroën Xantia V6. This is actually part of the kit that I bought, to put like the 406 calipers on the 205 GTI uprights. But that doesn't fit anymore because I actually have the correct uprights now for that brake setup. So these things are now obsolete. But maybe they fit with the standard Xara brake calipers. Not sure, but we're going to find that out later. But first, I'm going to try the spacer issue. Well, the spacer thing, and let's see what fits. Okay, point 1 taken. The spacer fits on here, but it's actually too big to fit inside of the brake discs. So without any modification, that's not going to work. So let's try this brake disc. So got the disc on there. Looks actually pretty awesome, pretty big. So let's put the caliper on. Okay, this is actually giving me an issue I did not expect. The brake disc is actually too thick to fit in here. It's just very strange because I swore that I tried this before, but it simply doesn't fit. But I actually think the offset is about right, so I'm going to do some extra measuring. Let's see what's up. Okay, I did some extra measurements and it's quite far off. It has to be my fault because I probably never tried those calipers on these discs because simply they were not meant to be for this setup. But check this out. If you look closely, you can see that that's never going to fit without any modification. Maybe I can modify them that it will fit, but look at this. If you see the edge over here and this, that's actually pretty good. I think if you can get this gap bigger, I think the offset seems about right. Maybe there is like an OEM solution for this. Maybe I can fit some 405 brakes. Not sure, but I have to look into that. I have to Google myself again. And the reason is, of course, the 406 brakes are too big for the wheel, so I just have to find like an OEM plus solution for this. But dang it, this is another setback. But still, it could have been easy if I just had wheels that fitted, which I don't have. But other than that, this could work. Could work. Let me think about this. So I've got some time in thinking this stuff over, and the easiest thing I just came up with, just use 2 washers, because it's just the easiest option, because these brakes actually go into another car as well, so having these upgraded kind of beneficial for me in the long run as well, so that's how I'm gonna do it. The only thing, I need to find some longer bolts, but for now, for mock-up, this will work. So, as you can see, I took them off the car and I got them drilled out at Richard's place. Thank you very much again. Now the holes are no longer, what do you call that? I don't know, they're not actually now straight through, not like conies. So yeah, yeah. I needed these drilled out because of course the bolt is going through it, but I needed to also get them through because it's way easier to measure up the spacer that I'm Richard's going to make the spacer, but without it, it was pretty difficult to get like a normal bolt in there. And now it's way better to measure all it up. So now I'm going to put back on the car and measure the thing up. And I think that's the wrong one, but I'm not sure. So I got a jack under it. So and I'm going to lower it. Now let's see what's up. Wait, maybe move this a little bit further away to be safe. Let's see, come on. Oh yeah, it's low. So let's see what's up. Well, check this out. Well, if you can see, the steering arm is now way better. I have space for a little bit more, but it's, I don't know, I don't trust that because it's already like, I think like 35 mil space, and if we go even further than that, I will create a lot of potential for slop in there, but this looks pretty good. No, quite nice. Let's see. Only thing that I'm looking at is maybe I have to lengthen up the steering arms. Not sure about that, but we'll see. Or get these rose joints with the longer threaded end on it, which probably a better solution, easier, but I just don't know. Maybe I have to send the company an email and see what's up. But looking at this, this looks pretty damn good. Result. Even though it's not really resulted because these things still have to be made, but things are looking good. Oh yes, check it out what I got. I got all the bolts that I needed with the washers and also in the correct size. The only problem that I have now is it doesn't really fit. It just has, it's just a tiny thing in there. The other side is the same way. Well, that's okay. We could drill the thing out because we're gonna go to Richard's house and go make these spacers for the anti-roll, not the anti-roll, bump steer correction. So that's gonna go there, and that's going to be great as well. Ja, dat zie je. Ga ik wel How's it doing? Richard made these things and look at the result. This is the bushing that was made. It fits on here. Perfectly, nicely done. And of course the rose joint is still on the car, but you know, there was a little bit of room for adjustments because I bought the bolt a little bit longer than needed, but I think that's good. And the non-threaded bit is like, yeah, it fits so perfectly in here. Yeah, it's a little bit of, but that's all right. Once you clamp it in, it's actually pretty good. Of course, you done both of them, so the other one's right over here. Actually, now you can see it even better. You see, it's actually pretty good. This one's actually a slightly better fit, but once it's tightened up, it'll probably be fine. Now I'm just going to take that part off, install that one with the bolts for the brakes, with the washers. I'm just going to go through that pretty quickly because taking these things, I don't know, you've seen it a lot of times. Actually, I skipped before in this video as well, so yeah, let's go do that. And here you have the spacer that Richard made in there. Check it out. Check it out. I'm going to install that space that Richard made. Check it out. Let's see. Come on. There you go. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. Now I'm going to install the bolt and the washers, which I don't know. It's going in there, basically. So this side's actually completely installed now, with the two washers and the bolts. I had to grind a little bit off of them, because they were hitting the disc, but that's fine. This thing is in here and it doesn't hit. That thing is fastened all that up, that looks all great. The only thing that needs to be done now is, I have to find a bolt for this one, because I thought you could use the old ones, but these things are stuck in there. They're not going out. Fine, I have to buy new ones. And I have to find an Allen key. It's big enough for the one, you know, this one. It goes under here. I don't have one that fits, but I'll do that off camera. And see if this thing is long enough. I'll also have to cut it and extend it, but that will be in another video. But other than that, I'd say that to the other one, and then that's probably the end of this video. So this side over here is also in. As expected, it fits pretty perfectly, except one thing. I ordered the wrong one. This is not the correct thread pitch, so yeah, that doesn't fit. But other than that, it's good to go. Yeah, that was it. I hope you liked this video. It's a bit longer than as usual, but I wanted to fit this in one video. Hope you liked it. Like and subscribe if you want to see more, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Later on.
So thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. And talking about more, you can click on one of these two videos to see some more from the channel. And yeah, hope to see you next time. Later.